Hello, I'm Monique Boonstra from A Passion for Lace and welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I last recorded. That was June last year for the knit-along for the Shetland Star Square shawl. And today I will be talking about another square shawl, or even optional a triangular shawl, and it's a Hap. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly because it's English and I'm Dutch, and a Hap is a Hap. Don't think it will be called a Hap or anything like that. Anyway, a Hap is a traditionally Shetland shawl made with wool, and traditionally there were many colors used, or sometimes in one color. And yeah, I'm here to talk about them and explain some things. Please know that all the things I'm saying is from my own experience. I didn't make up the rules, and I'm not saying that everything I'm saying is right or wrong, but it's what I found in my experience with knitting them. And having been to Shetland, I've seen some in the museum, and well, yeah, I'm here to talk about my experience with making a Hap. There are many options. You can knit them fine, and you can knit them with DK or fingering weight, and especially the latter one I'm talking about, because the fingering weight is for daily use, and that way you can still get acquainted with Shetland lace and their pattern, and play a bit with color and see what happens. Usually I do show and tell, so I have laid out on the couch next to me a lot of shawls to show you. I have boxes with colors and yarns and varieties of yarns. And okay, let's get started. First of all, a Hap was for daily use, as I said. It was wrapped around, usually doubled, so it would be extra warm. The wool would insulate and trap the air, and when you get warm, and you wrapped around your belly and then cross between your belt, then it would stay put and you wouldn't have to worry about it. Because it's wool, it would be sort of water repellent, so you also kept dry. In the Netherlands we have something not similar, but we have a kippendoekje. And a kippendoekje is a very short shawl, also triangular, and you wear it when you go outside for a bit, a short while, and not catch cold. The Hap was usually in 3 or 4 uses, mainly for daily use to keep warm. Then there was the elegant lace Hap that was used for weddings. And then there is the baby Hap that's used for when you get the baby. And the most well-known Hap for that was the Hap that was made by someone in Shetland. I think it was Sandra Manson, who made one for the birth of the royal children of Prince William. And then there is the mourning Hap. When someone had died, one would wear a veil across. And because when someone dies, you usually don't have the time to do that. And I read that some shawls would be dyed black to indicate mourning with them. Okay. There are several books that describe how to make a Hap, and the most well-known is, of course, this. It's recently, I have this since, let's say, it doesn't say a year, does it? No, I'm not sure, but I got it a while ago, and it has many patterns, and it also has a Hap, and it's by Zina Thompson. You can see it here. And this book is published and printed by the Shetland Times Limited, and I can advise you not to buy it on Amazon for skyrocketed prices, but just for the Shetland Times. They have a web shop, and maybe there are still some left and you can order one. Then there is one on Etsy by our favorite designer Sharon Miller. This is the Hap book. You can see it's pretty full. It has color suggestions. It has explanations on how to knit inwards and outwards, and the patterns, of course, are very elegant. even a triangular one, my favorite. Some of in my fine Shetland lace group have knitted Eva or half a hap. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then there are color suggestions. And of course, Sharon doesn't make a book without a little bit of history. And then you get your money's worth. Okay, I've knitted a few. I wish I did that years earlier because, like I said, for daily use, it's just most wonderful. Also in this talk I'm doing, I'm a fan of wool. I like wool so very much. It takes the color very well, it insulates, it's light, it's airy, it's beautiful, it is of course eco-friendly. And the sheep in Shetland make excellent wool, and there are many suppliers. I've got only 2 here, but there are more. There's Jamieson Smith, there's Jamieson's of Shetland, there is Oeredale, if I pronounce that correctly, and of course Donna Smith has her yarns, and one more. Oh yeah, Shetland Organics. I'm not sure if that's the same as Oeredale, probably not, but there's plenty to choose from. The post that I made on Facebook and social media was about choosing your colors and your own yarn, if possible, if you work from stash. And now I've lost it a bit. Okay. Of course, you can choose your own colors and your own yarn if you have something in stash, and knit with that. The benefit of making a hap is the fact that there are many colors, but you only need a little bit of one color or striping to make it happen. And let me show you and start with this one. It's a small sample I made. It's the Hamnefo hap. And this is a kit that I made, and for you to try and learn about how to knit the center, how to attach the border, and then to work the edge. As you can see, there are many stripes here. They can be very wide, 4 rows, usually not 6 rows, just 4 or 2, and they alternate, and they can be mirrored, or there can be a gradient. It's just what you prefer for yourself. This might be a quite long border. There are shorter borders, and I will be talking about those in a bit. As you can see, this is not a very lightweight yarn. It's the Shetland Spindrift by Jamieson of Shetland, and a bit of Jamieson Smith. I think it's the 2-ply Jumperweight or the lace. I'm not sure. Sorry. Anyway, there are a few rules that go with making a hap. And the first one is that usually, as far as I have seen, the center almost always has the same color as the edge. I didn't here, but overall in other shells that I made, that is the case. Also, when you make a square, you usually start in the center here, and then you knit your way up, and then you decrease, and then you have like a diamond shaped square. It will be a bit out of shape, but once you block it, it stretches out in all directions, and then you will have a square. When you have that done, you pick up the loops, and then you knit in another direction, because this is knitted up, and then you turn it a bit, and then this is knitted up in a way, and you go like that. When that is done, you are left with this, and it's time to attach an edge, and you start over here, and that is worked like this. So there are many directions, and in her book Sharon tells you also about knitting inwards. Personally, I haven't done that because I don't like that. I like to work outwards, but the benefit is that the stitches get fewer, so it will be quicker. It will feel quicker to knit inwards instead of outwards. The thing is that although these ridges don't take up much color, of much yarn and yardage, the edge will take up probably almost the same amount as the center, because you have to go all around, and with the pattern it's a lot of stitches. This is a very simple pattern, and they can be more elaborate if you want to, but for daily use this will do. Okay, then let's talk about the construction I've done. Okay, now we have this pattern, and let me show it to you this way, because then I can show you how wide it is, because this is the center stitch and this is the center stitch. So this is a pretty wide pattern repeat, and they of course can be smaller, and then the wave will be yeah, I'm not sure if it will be more flat or more high and up. I don't know. No, I think it will be more flat, because here the stitches are closer together, because this is a single repeat, and as you can see the wave isn't as high as the other one. Okay, so that's a variation you can play with. There's also another variation. As you can see with this one, there is a couple of yarn overs in a series and decreases. Yeah, like this is the part of the yarn overs, and this is the part with the decreases, and there's a center stitch here, and in the lace is also a center stitch, and then here's the other center stitch. The thing is, you can space it out with rows, so you can do 6 rows or 4 rows or even 8 rows, or you can decrease less, like 6 stitches on one side, or 4 stitches, or 8 stitches, and that will determine how much wave you get and what you end up with. Okay, stripes construction. Okay, pause. When you want to knit a shawl, a hap, and you have a bit of trouble deciding on the colors you want, I can help you with the tip I got from Ella Gordon when I was in Shetland and took a class that she gave in the Shetland Wool Week. Okay, you can of course knit a sample like this, but then you already have to have the wool. You can make a sample of this on paper, of course, with colored pens, but if you have a little bit of stash and a little bit of leftovers, it's quite possible to make this or this. She showed us, she uses a toilet roll or a piece of cardboard, and then you wrap around a bit of wool, and then you can play with the colors and see what you like, and if something you like, then you can knit it and it will end up in a shawl. So for instance, I made this one for my mother and ended up with this shawl. So the colors go in the same direction, and then you can decide if you want a certain color once or twice. And if you look close, you can see there is even a bit of yellow in the center, just to make the white a little bit less harsh. And there's a brown and a pink, and in the end that works, because then the gradient isn't that hard. I did make a mistake, as you can see, in this shawl, because usually when you have the color, then you knit in garter stitch. That's the given. The whole shawl is knitted in garter stitch, and the colors are worked also with that's called a ridge. That's one row back and one row forth, and that will give you one bump, and that will give you a stripe of color. So when you make this, make sure that you do 2 bands of one piece of yarn. Okay, and when I made the blue one, I doubled that and I made this one, and it has light blue and dark blue and teal, and also a bit of yellow, I guess, and even a bit of minty green, and that resulted in this shawl. And as you can see, it's the same pattern as the red one, but this one is very large because this one's for me. I'm very tall, and this one is for my mother, and she's a little bit shorter, so that's a little bit smaller. But the most wonderful thing is the center is the same size. As I will hold them together, and I've used the same needle size, and you can vary a bit with blocking, but usually you can see they are the same size, the squares of the centers, but in the end the blue one is a bit larger because I did 1 color repeat on the red one, but 2 color repeats on the blue one. So you can lengthen your shawl that way. I first made another one, which was this one, and this is a square, and it's very large, as you can see. And I also used a Shetland Spindrift for this, and the way you wear it is that you fold it double, and then you have this nice point and the colors on your back, and you put it on your shoulders. And then either you can use a pin to hold it, or in case when it's larger, you can tuck it in your belt, and then it will stay put and you have your hands free, and it's nice and warm over your shoulders. It does curl up a bit in the neck, but that's okay, because then you have a little something extra to keep you warm. Okay. Of course it ends up in my hair. Okay. I've talked about colors, but which colors to choose? There are many colors. Some have a gradient in the color range of the supplier, and you can and one of the suppliers is Jamieson of Shetland, which has an extended color range, especially for knitting in Fair Isle. And this you can use to your benefit by using these colors for making a hap. As you can see, there are gradients in very warm colors and in very dark or colder colors, and they have a range in natural colors, which is also very pretty. Just like Jamieson Smith and Jamieson's and some other suppliers, they have a wide range of yarns in a different gauge. And I'm now about to show you the yarns. I do recommend, if it's possible, when you can, to buy on a cone for the main color. This is a 2-ply, and this was a while back. And then that way you don't have to weave in ends. You will have to weave in ends eventually with all the colors of the border, but in this case you have plenty of wool to make at least the center and the edge. And sometimes it can be nice to have the main color come back in the border. Okay. For instance, I just showed you the color card for Jamieson's of Shetland, and this is a palette I made, which I'm planning to use someday. And it's always nice to have an accent color, like that really pops in contrast of the rest. Like in my example here, that would be the yellow. That's the accent color. Here it's the, what is it? bracken, that means fern, and others are blue and white. You can use a gray or a darker color to make the rest of the colors pop. And usually they have stockists all over the world, so you can order your set and be on their website and choose what you like yourself. Then we have, of course, the same sort of yarn, but a little bit less. I think this is 105 meters, and this is 115. So there's a 10-meter difference. So when you mix and match it, you won't be seeing very much difference in the end. So if you see one color that doesn't fit with the rest and you get still you still have some in your stash, you can still use it, and they go well together. Okay, this is my box for Jamieson Smith. This is the 2-ply jumper weight in smaller balls. It's just excellent, and they have a great color range, and you can mix and match and do also an accent color here again, or make it all neutral in one color. Then we have the Jamieson Smith 2-ply Jumperweight Supreme. That comes in larger balls. It's all natural often, although they do have a new range in, I think, a new weight, but I haven't used it, so I'm not sure how that what that yardage is. I think there were 9 natural colors, so you have the darker brown, and the gray is not here, but that's also available, like an oatmeal color, a white, and natural browns, and more it's like a bit of brown. You can use that for a daily use shawl. It's just perfect. It blends the colors very well. And Hazel Tyndall told me in a class that if you can't see the difference on the needle, then you can't see it in your shawl. That might work, to your benefit when you want a gradient, but for a hap, you can alternate with a lighter color, and then it works just fine, and you can make a beautiful gradient. And then we have, for the finer work, if you want still a daily shawl but a little bit more delicate, there's the Jamiesons of Shetland Ultra. I have put here again yellow. Somehow I like yellow, I'm not sure why, but it really works with the other colors. They also have like I said, a wide range of natural colors, so yeah, these will work out just fine for a hap. Then there is, of course, the final option. I told you about the daily use hap, and then there is the baby shawl. I don't have a design for a baby shawl yet. I'm thinking about it, but who has the time when working on fine lace? Because that's so much fun. And the one that I have, of course, many of you already seen it, is the Shetland Stars. This is made with the 2-ply Supreme from Jamieson Smith, and technically this is a hap too. It's a large square with an all-over lace pattern and a nice border and an edge. Okay, and when you make a baby shawl, it usually doesn't have as much patterning as this, because many people are worried that the baby's fingers will get stuck in a hole. But on one hand, yeah, that can happen, but it's wool, so not much damage can be done. It won't get stuck, and it will be pretty easy to get your fingers out again. Like I said, you can use the 2-ply or 1-ply for a bigger shawl, then you need to knit more. So you can use the 2-ply, or you can use a very delicate one for the finer wedding shawls. Now the technical part. Okay, when you knit a shawl, you have knit stitches, and reading a chart can be very handy, because then you can see what is coming next above your previous rows. So for instance, this would be very easy to chart, because it's you can explain it very easy, because it works with increases without decreases, and that's pretty quick. This works up nicely. But then you get to the lace part, And although back in the 18th, 19th century, when knitting was being written down, people in Shetland would say take one for a decrease and cast up for increase. And so you have a book with letters, and it will say take two, or cast up and knit three, for instance. But with the chart you can see what is happening, and you can read the symbols for to help you get what you want. And in a previous video about Shetland stars, I made a video and showed you these cards. And for instance, this is a knit stitch. So when you look at your charts and the box is empty, it means you have to knit one. And this is a slip stitch. This is often used at the beginning of the row, and this is very important. I'm not sure if it's a traditionally Shetland stitch, but I use it so that with the slip stitch you get easier a pickup for the loops when you will attach the edge or the border. The slip stitch does mean that when you do it at the beginning of the row, you need to knit the final stitch, so you can slip it when you turn your work, and that way you get a nice edge on the side of your knitting. This is a knit three together. Technically it doesn't apply for a hap because you don't need one, but I do want to show it to you. Okay, and then we have the knit two together. It's in this direction, and the other one is a slip slip knit. So you can see by the direction of the symbol which way you will have to knit the stitches together and get the effect of the wave best. And then the most rare stitch in all of Shetland lace is the purl stitch. It does happen, but we hate it, and we don't do it with pleasure, so we want to skip it as much as we can. So that's why most of the knitting in Shetland is in garter stitch. And this is the crucial one, my favorite, the yarn over. As you can see, it is round, and with a Shetland hap shawl, oh sorry, it's a Shetland hap, not a Shetland hap shawl, you get these a lot. So the thing is, when you see a chart, you often see slip stitch, knit one, and then you get a few of these and then a few of these. So I will lay these aside, because these two will keep the number of stitches even, so you can get the shape in the shawl. So this will be an increase, and this will be a decrease, and this will keep the shawl in shape. Because when you knit this, or you make this one and you make this one, this will give room to no, the other way around. This will be pulling the stitches together so hard that this will remain open. This will make a hole in your knitting, and that will make the wave get its shape. Okay, that was the technical bit. Like I said, a hap can be made with a few spaces like rows in between the lace, so you don't have to do very much lace to actually knit a Shetland shawl. The shape of the stitch is like this, and I talked about the directions of a shawl before, and like when you knit the center, the shape of the stitch will be this and will go up. But when you knit the border, the shape of the stitch will still be this, but compared to the center, yeah, I can't hold it all, so let's do this. Oh, okay. Compared to the center will go up, but this will go like this. and that's not a match, because as you can see the stitch is a bit higher than it is wide, so you need to make adjustments so that when the border is attached, or when the edge is attached to the border, it won't pull apart. And in my Shetland patterns, like this Hap, or in the, oh, I didn't name the other two. This one is making a point, because usually half a hap is called a point because it's a triangle. So this is making a point, and this is the Hap. You can use any other design by Gudrun Johnson, Sharon Miller, Kate Davies' book, or anything you have on hand. I would prefer if you buy mine, but it's not necessary for this knit-along. The direction, this is very stretchy because it's garter stitch, and it will go stretchy like this too. But when you attach this to this, you need to have a little bit of more stretch, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a pattern there, like a facketing or a ladder, and that is necessary, because if you don't do it, it will pull apart during blocking. And the same thing goes for when you attach the edge. You need to make a little bit more stitches so that the edge can be blocked without it pulling the stitches apart. Another thing I will say is, this is the front and this is the back, and as you can see, the colors melt very beautifully, because you always knit 2 rows in one color, or in some cases 4 rows in one color, and then the little bumps on the back will disturb that somehow. So there's definitely with this one for the border a good side and a wrong side. So you often when someone designs a hap, you will get instructions if increases are necessary to attach all parts. This also applies when you knit outwards or inwards, or when you make all borders separately and then sew them on later. Another thing is that when you make the shawl, this is the point, so I made the center like this going up, and then picked up all the loops on the sides, and then started the border with the center hanging off my needles like this, and then knit up like this. But what's very crucial is, because you have so many colors on every other row, every other 2 rows, there's often new color change. Then you have a lot of ends to weave in, and we don't want that, because we hate that. It takes up a lot of time, and when you're done knitting, you just want to get going and maybe start another project. So as you can see, this is the edge of the one side, and this is the inside. It's very neat because there's no color, new yarns attached over here, but on this side it's a bit different, and then you see all those little bumps, because I'm not very good at weaving in ends, and because it's for daily use, and when you wear it nobody sees it, so I'm a bit lazy regarding that. I do have one rule, and that is never ever ever please start the first stitch of the first row of the new row with a new color with a new yarn. I always try to make it past the first 3 stitches and then hide it somewhere in a knit 2 together or knit 3 together. But because these are colors, you can't wait, because then you get a very uneven start of every row when you make a new color. So I've written in the pattern how to do that, and then in the end you can weave in the ends. But the benefit of wool is you can also make a little knot, and then just cut it off very short, and it will felt during wearing because it's wool. And then when you're very unfortunate, like I was with another shawl, sometimes the knots get loose, and then you have to do some repairs. But most often it goes very well. And it's like with when you knit a sweater and you have to do a steek to make a neck or armpit, then you have to make some extra stitches, and because it's wool, you pick up 5 stitches before the steek, and then it will be felting a bit, and you can with Shetland wool you don't always have to reinforce them by sewing a bit of thread before the steek and secure the stitches. So okay, anything more I have to say? I'm not sure. Let's see. In the Faroe Islands, I have a shawl here. They also have a daily shawl, but in contrast of Shetland wool, they have a part of center inside. So technically this will be a triangle, and this will be a triangle, and that will be a point or a hap. But in Faroe, they decided they want a flat piece of wool across their back, and I've made this one. And because I've been wearing it a lot, it's a bit out of shape, and it has a hole in it, so that's not good, but it's wool, so it will keep. I spun this yarn myself. That is an option, but technically this is not a hap because of the bit in between the two triangles. Well, I think I've covered most. And you can join us in the Fine Shetland Lace group on Facebook, or hashtag Hap Knit-a-long or Hap Kaal, or when it's not suitable for you to be on Facebook, you can also join any other way, like Instagram, or even I will open up a page in my Ravelry group, A Passion for Lace, and you can ask questions, or say things, or show progress, or show your colors, or tell us what you are thinking about, and let us know how you're getting along. And if it is hard for you, and maybe you can need some help with reading the charts, or yeah, anything really, we'd love to do it together. If language is a barrier, there is a site called knittingfool.com, and she has at least, I think, 10 languages, like French and German, Norwegian, Danish, Swedish, Portuguese, Spanish, and other languages that translate knitting nomenclature, like knitting terms, into your own language of choice. I very much appreciate that she's done that, because it's helped many people, and I always want to refer to her because that's how it got started too. Yeah, technically you can do anything if you want to, and yeah, please stay on topic when you are joining us in the group. And yeah, it's lovely knit. It's the purpose of making it your favorite shawl to wear on a daily basis if you want to. If you can make a square, you can also double it as a blanket if it's heavy enough. And it's just great fun. I wear mine very often with my the pin I have in my hair now. And I, especially in fall and in spring, I want to wear it like this. I make it the points a little bit shorter, because then it's a little bit wider, and then I go like this. I do one point over here and the other one there. Then you can see my very nice pin from Etsy. And then I can go out and I'm nice and warm and cozy. Okay, I wish you have the same experience as me, because it's very much fun just preparing for it and choosing the colors. I will place a schedule on the Facebook page for you to download, and you can practice your rows and colors. And you can find me as A Passion for Lace all over Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And my web shop is kantwerk.myshopify.com. And Of course, I have a Ravelry store as a Passion for Lace, and I have an Etsy store as a Passion for Lace, and you can find my Hap and designs over there, or go to Ravelry and find your Hap pattern if you like. This is what I know, this is what I've done, and I'm wishing you a very fine knit, and see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.